Prakriti Uma Mahesh is an author, global speaker, spiritual scientist, and a leading spiritualist who has transformed millions of lives through his meditative and spiritual activities over the last 25 years. He preaches spirituality as science that focuses on spiritual lifestyle, and it helps humans to live life wonderfully, successfully, comfortably, and easily. With his more than 4,000 quotations and more than 400 videos, he has helped youth to achieve their goals and also helped them to be confident and happy. He is also the author of Amazon best-selling book, Think Differently, which has been found very useful to be happy anytime, anywhere.
How you can celebrate your life wherever you are, whatever you are. You may be worst fellow, you may be useless fellow, you may be the top worst fellow in this world, but still you are a Buddha.
The founder of Prakriti Meditation, Uma Mahesh is a veteran with 20 years of corporate experience. By profession, he is a software engineer at Persistent Software Company. He has been awarded with Indian Excellency Award by Indian Book of Records for motivational services.
Thank you so much, sir, and welcome you to the session. And masters, let me be clear that this is not a speech and this is a totally interactive session. You may ask any type of questions, and it may be of your regular life or any doubt with which may help you to have a successful life. You may ask any type of questions, and sir will answer your questions. And yes, over to you, sir, and welcome to the session, sir.
Thank you, Manasa. Thank you all who have joined the session today. If you have any questions, you can raise your hand and ask, especially related to everyday life. So this forum is especially about happiness. Happiness, happiness, happiness. Only one thing. There is nothing else. It is not to make you to become IAS, IPS, or CEO. It is not about your goals. It is about our everyday life. It is about happiness in everyday life. So the concept is mystics thinking, which is the yogi's way of life or thinking, to have eternal happiness, permanent happiness. Eternal happiness means we should be happy anywhere, anytime. We should not be happy occasionally. Unknowingly or knowingly, we are happy occasionally. Once in a while, once in a month, once in a year, once in life. Some people are happy once in only one time in life. Every day they are unhappy. They are not happy. So here we discuss about how yogis used to think, how they are thinking, so that they are always happy. How can they be always happy? What is the secret behind that? Known secret. It is not unknown. It is known by everybody, but we have forgotten to practice. So if you have any questions, you can raise your hand and you can get your answer. No questions?
Yes, masters, if anyone wanted to ask any type of question, you may please feel free to ask. Yes, Asha ma'am, please unmute yourself.
Okay.
Yeah, Ramesh, Asha, please.
Please unmute yourself and speak.
Yes, sir. Namaste, sir.
Yeah.
Sir, quotation, sir. If you want to be the deliberate creator of your own experience, start choosing the direction of your thoughts deliberately.
This is one quotation and she is asking explanation. What is the...
Sir, quotation, sir.
Yeah,
quotation.
yeah, understood. Yeah. So everybody want their life to be in their, as per their choice, as per their like. I want to be something. I want something in my life. I want the whole world as I like. I want my family to be as I like. What are you doing for that? What are you doing? If you want your life choicefully, you should choose something else choicefully in such a way that you will get your life into your hands, not somebody else's life. We have to understand this. We cannot deliberately choose somebody else's life. I cannot choose my wife's life, my daughter life to be as I like. I cannot choose the world, whoever is here, lives as I like. I can choose my life. There is huge difference between my life and somebody who is there in my life and their life. That should be clear. We can be as I are, as we like, but we cannot expect others to be as we like.
As well, like, yes.
So if you truly want to choose your life deliberately, choicefully living, you have to choose the seed of this entire life. You want a mango fruit, you have to choose a mango seed. That's all. You want something else, you want banana, choose the banana seed. Farming, you have to reform yourself by choosing the right thought, unconsciously or unknowingly. We are choosing wrong thoughts and feeding that wrong thoughts, watering them and getting wrong fruits. We want raw mango and we are seeding the banana and we expect mango. How can you? You might have done hard work. A lot of people say that they are working very hard. No, simply hard work is not enough. Right work, right choices, right seeds are required. That right seeds are our thoughts. They are called as right thoughts. Right thoughts means positive thoughts, miraculous thoughts. Normally, whatever is happening in our life, we try to follow them. Something is bad going in our life, and we feel that we judge, we do the judgment. My life is not good. This whole world is not good. My wife is not good. My husband is not good. Somebody is not good. So we'll try to choose because based on the fact. The fact is life is not good. And if you are repeating that thought, which is a judgment, which is a belief, not good. If you keep on repeating that thought, which is called as not good, my life is not good, my friends are not good, my world is not good, my relatives are not good. If you keep on repeating that thought choicefully, unconsciously or consciously, you will again attract the same thing. So what we have to do deliberately, we have to chase that thought. Even if the fact is not good, we should not take that word. We should repeat that word that my life is perfectly all right. My life is perfect. You choose that word. What happens? Is there anybody going to question you if you choose the word perfect? My wife is perfect. Mr. Perfect. Mrs. Perfect. My job is perfect. Wonderful. You can choose this kind of words and repeat the same thing and speak about the same thing. My life is perfect. Wonderful. If anybody asks me, how are you, sir? I always say, wonderful. Excellent. How is your job? I always say, excellent. My job is excellent. My profession is excellent. I'm very, very happy. That's what I say. Are they going to come out to your office and home and see what exactly it is? No. Nobody is going to come and verify what is your fact is. But deliberately, if you choose this kind of thoughts and words, when you speak or when you think, you'll be adding energy to them, and in future, tomorrow or day after tomorrow, you will see that is there in your life. That is what is happening in my life. My life is always perfect wherever I am. Wherever I always think. Wherever I am, maybe in India, maybe in America, maybe in Andaman. I don't, wherever I am, my life is perfect. Maybe alone. I'm alone now here, but still my life is perfect. Not because I have money, not because I'm in America, not because something. It is perfect, that's all. No reason. Why don't you choose this kind of thoughts? Who is stopping you? If you speak positively, if you think positively, if you speak miraculously about your everyday life, why don't you speak miraculous words? Why don't you choose? So if you choose negative words about your life and repeat them, you will get the same life tomorrow or day after tomorrow. You create your own reality through your thoughts, through your seeds. So why don't you choose right thoughts? It is our own choice. End of the day, our thoughts are our choice, our words are our choice. Nobody is going to ask you to speak positively. Nobody is going to ask you to speak miraculously. So why should you share all the rubbish with everybody in this world? Why should you speak and choose the wrong thoughts? Even if fact is something, don't go with the fact. So deliberately, consciously, this is called as conscious living. If you consciously choose your thoughts, if you consciously choose your words, and if you consciously choose your acts, that is called as conscious living. If we live consciously through your thoughts and words and acts, your life will be in your hands. Somebody else may not be in your hand. Your husband may not be in your hand. Your family may not be in your hand. But your happiness, your life, internal life will be in your hand. That is 100% guaranteed. The whole world may not be in your hands. They have their own choices. They will live according to their thoughts, their words, their actions. That is their karma. Our life is up to this circle. Wherever we are, we can be happy. That is possible. That is possible. So, my dear friends, let us now start living consciously by deliberately choosing thoughts, which are the seeds. So, if you truly want your life to be in your hands, now remove all the unnecessary words, all the wrong words, maybe facts. Don't speak about the facts. Speak about great things in your life, whichever happened. Something might have happened very greatly. Yesterday or day before or 10 years back, speak repeatedly about that great thing only. Don't speak about wrong thing happened in your life. Unless otherwise somebody is a doctor, somebody is something, therapist or somebody, only with them you can speak. Otherwise, don't speak. Common man cannot help you. Maybe your parents, maybe your family, they cannot help you. They are also common people. How can they help you? They are not medicine. They are not great masters. They are not nannies. They are also common human beings. They will add more negative to you. So don't share or don't speak unnecessary things. Speak only right things, great things. Choose your thoughts, choose your words, and deliberately live your life. Consciously live your life. Happily live your life. It is possible. Okay. Thank you, Asha, for asking a good question.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Asami. Even by your quotation, now we are very clear what to do in our life. Yes, thank you so much. Thank you, sir. Next, Sir, please unmute yourself and speak.
Namaste, sir. This is Kumar. I have a question related to anything we should not take personally, right, sir? So if anyone is doing politics on us, we are not reacting, but inside we are getting anger. So that means we are not doing much meditation.
That's what you are taking personally. Some dog is barking.
Okay.
You have to take him inside.
Okay.
That is its quality. That is dog. If you are a tiger, you should choose your action. Just like sometime back I told. If you are a tiger, you don't just respond to the dog. You follow your own way of responding. Not the same way they are doing. You may respond in your own style. Reacting is just duplication of the same thing. That is reaction. Just now I told, if somebody is doing politics, what you have to do? Whatever is happening, that is politics. That is a fact. Now, what is the thought you have to choose?
Silence.
You have to choose right thought. You should say that, hey, my friends are very good. My colleagues are excellent. Repeat that.
Yes, sir.
Then their politics will not work with us. They may have their own politics. Their impact will not be there on us.
Oh, got it.
Okay. So if you choose inside and if you give energy to that inside, that means you are choosing that life, that politics, whatever it is. So choose wisely. Choose wisely.
Okay.
Because it requires only that you choose and keep inside. Now we are talking about great things. Take the one, keep inside. We are talking about positivity. Take that and keep inside. Somebody is speaking about negative things. Keep it outside.
Yes.
Have a
got it.
filter. That is what is, don't take things personally. Have a filter. We should have a filter. We should have a screen which will stop post. We should check every thought coming to us and wisely choose them. Wisely choose them. Security guard. Have a security check. Just like
Yes.
in our system, we have a security check. Officers at the entrance, we have a security check. Only right people will be allowed. Only the required people will be allowed. Only selected people will be allowed. In the same way, select your thoughts.
Mhm.
Whatever they are speaking, whatever they are doing, don't take them inside. If you do more meditation, naturally you will have enough stamina, so that you can keep aside. If you
Yes,
don't do
got it.
meditation regularly, if you do 5 minutes or 10 minutes of meditation, you will not have enough stamina, enough strength to stop them outside.
Yes.
The first thing to be done is regular meditation.
Yes, sir.
If you don't do meditation regularly, how can you manage your mind? Mind naturally will take inside.
Yes, sir.
That is why I always suggest 2 hours of meditation, not 10 minutes, 15 minutes. That will give you good stress relief, stress buster, not choice of life. Wanted to become a master of your life. 2 hours of
Yes.
meditation.
Yes, sir.
I
Got it.
suggest 2 hours of meditation to be done every day, not on once in a while. 2 hours of meditation every day.
Yes, got it.
Even if today is festival, do meditation. More meditation. If festival, you do 6 hours of meditation. Not because of festival, should not reduce meditation. Today is Sri Ramanavami. Now, okay, on the occasion of Sri Ramanavami, let us do 6 hours meditation, 8 hours meditation. That is what you have to do.
Yes, sir. Got it.
Not run outside and play with people and celebrate. Occasionally do more meditation, not less meditation. If there is marriage, do 10 hours of meditation and then
Yes,
go
sir.
to marriage.
Yes, sir.
Even if it is your own marriage.
Yes, sir.
People say that I am in marriage, I am in that, and because of that, I'm not doing it. If you are in something, do more meditation, not less
Yes.
meditation.
Yes.
Then that will help you to do better job in that program. Maybe
Yes,
it is
sir.
marriage, maybe it is anything that will help you to do more better job,
Mhm.
more
Yes,
better
sir.
work, to work more effectively.
Yes, sir.
If you have exams, as a student, do more meditation. Then that will help you to study well, properly, focus well, concentrate well.
Yeah.
You should not reduce meditation, you should increase always more meditation.
Yes, sir.
It
Got
will
it,
help
sir.
you now. It will give you a lot of easiness. Psychological easiness will come.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you, sir.
Thank you very much, Kumar, for asking.
Yeah, please unmute yourself and speak.
Sir, good morning.
Yes, sir. Good morning.
Well, actually, we are discussing about this conscious thought and unconscious thought, right? So how can one person know that whether the thought that was taken is a conscious or it's unconscious? I mean, I'm just thinking kind of like as per your discussion. Well, a thought that was taken and I pause for 10 seconds and decide like, oh, this thought. So does that mean that thought that I was taken as a conscious? So how can we decide it's a conscious thought? Or how can we decide it's a conscious thought?
Good question. Yeah. When you're driving, how can you decide whether you're going right way or not way? When you're driving car, how can you how do you decide you are going in a given direction to the particular place or not? You are verifying it, right? Every minute to minute. When you take a car from home and you are going somewhere to a shop, say assume that you are going to office or shop, and you have kept a direction. Minute to minute you are verifying and going in the same direction which you required. That is why everybody is able to reach their destination. It may be office, it may be Himalayas. They are consciously, fully observing what is happening, where we are going. In the same way, if you have right thought in your pocket and some wrong thought came, and verify your whatever the thought came with the right thoughts which you have already. Just now I told my life is perfectly all right. That is the right thought. My job is perfectly all right. That is what right thought. Something might have happened in your life, and immediately your negative mind try to give you wrong thought, right? Verify this with the right thought. Okay, this is wrong thought. Remove that. So this is already we are living our life consciously in many cases, but not about the thoughts. Consciously we are doing job. Consciously we are going to movies. Consciously we are going to office. Not consciously thinking, consciously speaking. We are consciously driving. If we don't do consciously the driving, what is going to happen? The whole world is going to die. Consciousness is our everyday life, part of everyday life. But certain things we are doing consciously, certain things we are neglecting. We are neglecting. Don't neglect your thoughts by assuming that they don't have much power. Don't neglect your words by assuming that they don't have much power. They have power. Just like yogis and rishis have power, everybody has their own power. Maybe comparatively less or much, doesn't matter. Everybody is equally powerful. So choose your thoughts. How to choose your thoughts again? Read books by great masters and collect right thoughts, 100 right thoughts, and whenever any thought comes, whenever any word you are going to speak, verify these 100 thoughts. Verification. As you told, you may take at initial stage, you may take a break. When you initially drive a car at very starting stages, you slowly drive the car. Just you will watch everything carefully. Initially, you may take 1 minute, 2 minute break. Say before speaking, take 1 minute break and verify what you are going to speak, and then speak. Now I'm not taking any break. I'm habituated because I'm an expert of speaking. If you are not expert of speaking, take a break, note down some points, and then speak for some days. Then you'll get habituated to speak in the right way. The same way, thinking. You are going to office, take a break, 2 minutes break in between, and go to office with the right thoughts in your mind. Don't go with the wrong thoughts of yesterday or past. That can be practiced. Just like we practice initially about car driving or anything. Cycle also, when we learn initially at our childhood, we used to drive carefully, consciously. Later, you will become a master. That is different story. Okay, sir, is it good?
Yeah, is it good? But another question is like situations come without expecting, right? I mean, like as you're saying, like we have to think it before to office or whatever. Like, situations for us comes automatically, spontaneously.
On the road, they are going to tell you that I'm going to come on opposite to you. What are you doing?
That
Same way, it is part of everyday life. If if everybody told you, as everybody told you that I am going to come and you are come, are you going to fix the appointment and come on the road? No. In the same way, that is why every day, every time you have to be conscious. If you sleep, you will get accident. People are sleeping. That is why they are suffering. When you are driving, if you sleep, so it is not about who is going to come. It is about whether you know driving or not, conscious driving or not.
okay.
You can know conscious driving. Maximum you can avoid all the wrong things. You can go in a right way. We try to blame others. They driving. They are not correct. They are not good people. They are not the right people. Boss is not correct. Office is not good. World is not good. On the road, if you keep on blaming others, are you going to reach your destination? No. In the same way, in our everyday life, also, we should not keep blaming others. We should stop blaming others and we should start verifying our driving signs. We should upgrade ourselves. We should keep on becoming more perfect in our own mind and drive our life.
Got it, sir.
That is common. Everybody will be having their own way of driving the things. But still, if we know the driving properly, we can escape maximum. Rarely accidents happen. Rarely suffering may come, but we'll try to catch hold of that suffering and keep running there only. So many things may come suddenly, but if you know the driving, you can manage. So that is why you learn the science of meditation. You learn the science of spirituality, science of yogis. How yogis manage to be happy all the time. How Vivekananda managed to be happy all the time. How Gandhi managed to be happy all the time without anything. Gandhi had nothing. He has not taken anything for himself. But still he was happy. He was a great leader. He is a great leader even now. He's still leading our lives. Vivekananda is still leading our lives. Buddha is still leading our life. He's still a leader even if he is not a leader. So when they can do great things for entire world, can't we drive our own life consciously? It is possible if you can choose. If you can practice. We should practice the science of meditation. We should practice the science of spirituality given by masters, yogis. Many yogis already given to us. We should practice. We should learn. Just like we learn from our seniors about car driving, whatever it is. We learn and we practice. In the same way, we should learn from the seniors. There are great lot of seniors in this world who are there to help us. Take the help from them. Take the wisdom from them. Yogis' wisdom. Driving school wisdom is useful for our driving. In the same way, yogis' wisdom is useful for our life, everyday life. Okay, na sir? Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, I have a quotation, Uma.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So lack of self-love is the source of many kind of suffering. If that is understood, joy flows into your life.
Yes. If you truly love, what are you going to do? You stop blaming others. You stop focusing on others. You will try to work for yourself. You will try to upgrade you. You don't waste your time and energy for blaming others, criticizing others, complaining others about others. If you don't have love towards yourself, you will waste your time. If you love yourself, you will give time for yourself. If you love somebody, what you will do? You will give time and energy for them. If you love your kid, what you are going to do? You will try to do something for your kid. By taking some time, by taking some money, by taking something, you will try to do something for him. And the same way, if you truly love yourself, instead of focusing on obstacles, you will focus on solution. Instead of focusing on suffering, you will focus on happiness. Many people in this world know the solution, but they don't want to practice or travel in that particular path, which is a solution. They just come and share their problems and keep giving solution. If you truly love yourself, take the steps. Whatever you know, you may not be knowing everything. You may be noting some A. You may know that we should do meditation, that much only. Okay, try to do meditation regularly if you truly love yourself. You may be knowing you should read books. Okay, go and keep reading books. So if you have love towards yourself, you will jump into practice. If you are true love, many people unconsciously don't love ourselves. Unconsciously, we try to focus on others. Focus and waste our time and energy. Stop focusing on others. Stop controlling others. Stop blaming others. Stop giving complaints of others. Too many complaints. You may complain once in a while. Very different story. We are human beings. Not every day. If you are living in complaints every day, if you are living in blaming every day, if you are living in criticism every day, that means you are not trying to live your life. You are not trying to live for yourself. You are wasting time. You are wasting energy. So those who love themselves, they give time for themselves and they'll grow. When you grow, you naturally will get happiness. So you have done 2 hours meditation, naturally you will get happiness and you will feel happy. Suffering will be lost. So if you love yourself, you will come to this session and naturally you will get happiness. If you love yourself, you will come to this session. If you love yourself, you will do meditation. If you love yourself, you practice some wisdom in your life. If you truly love yourself. If you are lazy and if you don't love yourself, that is different story. You can keep on suffering. In entire life, you can suffer. Entire life. Till the breath, last breath, many people suffer. They keep blaming. So, if we truly love ourselves, only one thing to be done, jump into practice. Sorry. Jump into practice of whatever you know at least. Sorry. Whatever you know. You may be knowing A. First jump into the practice of A. A will lead you to Jad. You need not be Brahmagnani. You need not be a great master, hero. To get out of suffering. 27 years back, I know only one thing, Dallas, being with nature. I don't know anything. I don't know any books. I don't have any wisdom, anything. I just know only one word, being with nature. Then I started being with nature. I know only one thing called as meditation. 2 things I know, meditation and being with nature. I just started doing meditation. I just started keeping myself in nature as much as possible. Then slowly, I went to the next steps. Next steps. That happened naturally. Growth came naturally because of 2 steps, meditation and nature. Meditation and nature. Meditation. Only 2 mantras I have followed. Nothing else. That brought me now in this place. Later on, I came to know many things out of these 2 things, out of these 2 steps. So if you truly love yourself, verify what you are doing for yourself. If you truly love your wife, what you are going to do? If you truly love your husband, what you are going to do? You will do something for him. You will not expect something for them. You will do something. And in the same way, if you truly love yourself, what you are doing for yourself should verify. If you go to somebody and say that I love you, they are not going to accept. What are you going to do with that love? That is what is their question. If you just keep on saying I love you, It's of no use. What is that you are going to do that? Action. You should become action king. Should take out some time. So take out time for meditation for yourself. Take out time for reading books. Take out time for coming to this session so that your mind will be reprogrammed and you will be happy. Ramesh, any question? Any doubts you have in this?
No, man, that's really good. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you for asking.
Thank you. Thank you, Ramesh sir. Next, Asha ma'am, please unmute yourself.
Yes, sir. Quotation, sir. Past
Yes.
is neither wrong nor right. It is just an experiment, an experience. Remember this.
Past is neither right, neither wrong. It is just an experiment and experience. That's good. Yes. We try to judge past. Just now I told fact. We'll go with facts. Something wrong happened in my life. No, something happened in your life. That's all. Why should you repeat something wrong happened in your life? Something wrong happened in somebody's life and he came with X-ray. We know that. So why do you choose? Why do you judge your experiences as right or wrong, bad, good, worst? Why are you trying to give wrong words to the experiences? That is already gone. That is gone. That is in graveyard. Past is not there right now. Right now, present moment is there. Choose the great things. Choose the great words. Choose great thoughts. Choose great ideas. Not based on your wrong past. We need not carry our past. Past is perfectly alright. Perfectly alright. It may be bad, it may be wrong. Because of that, you are now today in this great moment. In 1995, I was thinking to commit suicide. Today, I feel that as my blessing. Because of that suicidal tendency, I started digging into truth of life. 95, I started my search for truth. I came to know many truths. That means my suffering, which I got in 95, was indirectly a blessing that made me, that has pushed me to search for truth. So every experience is excellent experience. It may be painful experience. It may be painful experience now. You may feel painful. Doesn't matter. That is wonderful experience. Identify and give the name as wonderful experience. Not painful experience, wrong experience, bad experience. There are no bad experiences in life. Okay. You may not like them because of pain, because of suffering, but don't identify them with wrong thoughts, wrong judgments. Everything is an experience and experiment. We have done some experiment unknowingly and we got some result. We got some experience, that's all. Experiment plus result equal to experience. Now we are going to do another good experiment. Another good result we'll get. Another good experience we'll get. What matters? Why should we carry all the wrong things happen in our life?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Sir, I have a small doubt, sir. That is, addiction of be with nature is a good habit or not?
If it is good habit, that is not called as addiction. It is helping you, that is not addiction. If it is helping you for your growth.
Yes, sir.
If something is useful, that is not addiction. That is a practice, sadhana. That is called a sadhana. If something is making you fall down, that is wrong. That can be called as addiction. Good habits. If somebody asks you, what are your habits? What do you say? Go reading books. Tell, right? Many people. Listening
Yes,
to
sir.
music, habit. That is good habit. If it is helping you for your growth, don't identify that as addiction. Identify that as habit, good habit.
Yes, sir. Because when I'm with nature, I balance each and everything very well. But when I
Awesome.
didn't spend time with the nature, I'm not able to balance anything every. So I feel that maybe it's addiction. But now I have the clarity, sir.
If you eat vitamin food, your body will be good. If you don't eat food, what will happen?
Yes,
Naturally, you will
yes, sir.
have body may suffer. It doesn't mean
Yes,
that the habit is wrong. You have not habituated in a right way, then naturally you will not be happy. So give vitamin food. That is good habit. So that your body is happy. Give right thoughts. That is good habit. Your mind will be happy. Go and spend more time in nature. Your mind will be fresh. Just like eating vitamin food. We should give right thoughts every day. Every day, just we should come to this kind of sessions every day, and we should go to nature every day and feed our soul in the right way. Feed our mind in the right way. Feed our entire life in a right way. We are unknowingly giving wrong direction to our mind, because of which unknowingly we are unhappy. Unknowingly we are unhappy. We are creating our own suffering out of our own wrong thoughts because of wrong habits. Have as many right habits as possible. Otherwise, at least one right habit entire life. I started with one right habit: being with nature, reading books, being with nature.
yes,
My wonderful habit of reading books brought me here. I'm addicted to the books, of course,
yes.
but that is good. That is good. It may look like addiction, but that is helpful addiction. Good addiction. Okay.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, Shamli. So, one question. There is a question. If you're suffering in your relationship, then check your ego level once. Can you please explain this?
If you are suffering in relationships,
Then check your ego level once.
check
Your
yourself on.
yes.
Yes. Self-check. For everything, whatever happens in our life, only one thing to be verified. That is what? Ourselves. When something wrong happens, what we try to do? We try to verify others. If something wrong is there on my face, what should I do? Should I verify my mirror? No. I can verify once in a while. I can clean my mirror. That happens rarely, once in a month, not on an everyday basis. We should verify our face. What is there here? And clean the face. Then naturally we'll see the right face in a mirror. So our relationships are our mirrors. Our friends are our mirrors. Our world is a mirror, big mirror, giant mirror. What is that wrong thing you are thinking? You should verify. What is that wrong word you are speaking? You should verify. What is the wrong habit I have? Do I have any ego in my mind when I am speaking? Am I speaking equally or am I speaking egoistically? Am I speaking with possessiveness? Should verify. After verification of everything, if you feel good, keep going with that good. They may be unhappy. That is their problem, not your problem. You do as many verifications as possible. There is one word called as verification and validation. Verify and validate with right thoughts. If you feel good, confident, then go ahead with the same thoughts. Don't bother about others. If they are unhappy about you, that is their problem, not your problem. You need not bother about their unhappiness. You should bother about your righteousness. You should check your righteousness level. If you are happy with your righteousness, then keep going with that righteousness. How to check your righteousness? Take the book. Take any book you like. Take Vivekananda book. Take Ramana Maharshi books. There are many great books in this world. Take Bhagavad Gita and verify your righteousness. Don't assume that you are right always. We should verify our righteousness by checking from the words of yogis, masters, enlightened masters. There are a lot of enlightened masters now in this world. Lot of enlightened masters. Not only in India, even in all the entire world is full of great masters. See, if you come to US, Dr. Deepak Chopra, Neely Donald Walsh, Ramtha, there are many great people. Eckhart Tolle, Van Dyer, there are many people. Only one thing, you should take their books, verify yourself. Don't assume that you are always correct. That is another problem. We feel that always we are correct. No, after verification only we should say that we are correct. If we are wrong, we should correct ourselves and go with that kind of right word, right life. So always anything, whenever anything comes in our life, we should do only one thing: verification. Verification with respect to words or thoughts of yogis, masters. That is important. That is important. That is called as self-analysis or self-check. Self-check is very important. That is the only one thing which will help us to grow. If we don't check ourselves, there is ever chance for a wrong step in our life. We should not assume anything all the time. Okay?
Yes, and thank you so much, sir. The other petition. Those who love the work, those who find happiness at work, becomes a winner.
Can you repeat again? I could not hear properly.
Yes. Those who love the work, those who find happiness at work, become winner.
If you are doing some work and you are not happy in doing that, so today you are doing hosting, you are unhappily, you are not choicefully, if you without interest you are doing hosting. What is it? Today I am here speaking. I don't want to speak. I don't like to speak. How I will be able to speak? The way I speak will be different, right? There will be no energy in words. There will be no happiness in the words. So whatever you are trying to do out of happiness. Out of happiness. There may be certain things which you should do mandatorily. Then increase your happiness, because that is mandatory. If that is not mandatory, don't do it if you don't like it. There may be certain things which they may be not mandatory. If it is not mandatory, avoid it, escape from it. Krishna once escaped from a war. Jarasandha was coming to fight with him. He escaped because he don't like it. Jarasandha was not up to the level of Krishna. Bhima will come tomorrow and he will kill. That is what Krishna's plan was. So he escaped. That is not wrong. That is not wrong. Many people commented Krishna that he is not capable enough. No problem. Let them. If it is not your cup of job to be done, don't do that job. If it is your job, your work, do it out of happiness, out of full focus, out of interest. Then your entire energy will go into that work and that will flower. 2 years back when we have started this session, we had only few people. Now we are grown. Hundreds of people are coming to our sessions. Hundreds of people. We are keeping on doing out of love, out of interest, out of our own choice. Nobody is forcing us to do this. I have not forced you to do hosting. Nobody has forced me. You should come. and take the session. Nobody has forced me, or nobody has forced you. Nobody has forced anybody over here. Out of happiness, we are doing all these things. Out of choice, out of interest. When you do something out of choice, out of interest, out of like, it will have more energy. It will be more productive. It will be more useful. You will get energy out of the work which you like and do. If you don't like, you will lose energy. If you don't like, you will lose happiness. So if something to be done mandatorily, remove your thoughts about that and do it out of happiness. If you don't like, if it is not mandatory, escape. Either you escape or do happily. Only two things should be there, not in between. Escaping is not wrong. You can happily escape. I escape out of many things happily. Because I don't like. Who said that we should like everything and everybody? No, it is not possible. It is not possible. You should not watch every movie. It is not possible. If you like a movie, you'll watch. If you like NTR, you'll watch. If you don't like it, don't watch. We don't watch. Who told that we have to watch? Not mandatory, not essential. There are many things which are not essential. Don't take them. Avoid and run away from them. If it is right, then you do it. If it is mandatory, then do it out of happiness. That will make you to win. Successful. You'll be successful. You are now today successful. You are here taking all, you are part of all the sessions. Successfully you are doing. Because how happily you are doing. If you do anything happily, you will grow naturally. 1-2 years back you are something, and today you are something else. 1-2 years I was back, I was something else. Now I'm again something else. I'm grown. You are also grown. We are growing together out of happiness, out of doing the work happily. We are growing. We are winning. Everybody is here is winning. Whoever is participating. Everybody is winning. Not only I am winning, not only you are winning. Everybody here, whoever is coming regularly this kind of sessions, choosing this session, they are winning. They are growing, which is called as winning. Growth is equal to success. It is not in comparison with others. It is in comparison with our past, our yesterday, our last year. Last year we were something else. Not today we are something else. We are taking the sessions in US. Last year we were taking sessions in India. Last year we used to take only with our 20-30 people. Now we are taking with hundreds of people. Last year we were taking sessions with only few people within our country. Now global meet. Today is the global meet. This is a global meet. We are grown. We are getting success. So anything you do out of happiness, out of interest, out of focus, with focus, that will give you success. Okay.
Yes, thank you so much, sir. Next, Shishinana ma'am, please unmute yourself.
Yes. Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
And happy Sri Ramanavami to all masters. Yes, sir. Sir, I have a question, sir.
Yes.
Could you please explain what is the difference between love and affection?
Love and affection.
Yes. Is the same quality or different?
Well, affection, in my understanding, is something related to like. I like somebody, so I have affection. If you don't like somebody, you will not have affection. I have affection towards you because I like you. Right? Affection is a fruit of like. Love is quality. Love is a quality. I love everybody here, but I have special affection towards you. I love everybody over here. That is why I am sharing my knowledge, wisdom, right? That is a common quality. But affection is something special. When you like somebody along with love, when you like their qualities, you will have extra feeling towards them. There is a feel, right? That is what my understanding towards these two words. I have love. That is why I do everything for everybody. But especially, I will do something for some people whom I like personally. Affection is something personal. There is a personal relationship. I cannot have affection towards everybody and I give time to everybody. That is not possible. If I like you, I will have some affection, I have some feeling. Feel good. I have. Then I will give extra time to you. Otherwise, I say, Namaste, boss, come to the program. We'll see later. Right? You can only live today. I don't know anything about you. How can I have affection? Right? Okay, affection is something which will come out of some time. After some time. After some journey togetherness. Very first day when you came, I don't know you. Now I know you very well. I have some bond, inner bond. If you talk to me regularly, I will get connected with some understanding, with some feeling good feel. Because of that good feeling, we'll do a number of things for them. We'll give books, we'll share things, we'll give money, we'll give a lot of things, whichever we like to give, out of affection. Day one, you may have universal love. That is common for everybody. I give commonly for everybody. That is the day one. After some journey, after some experience, after that, some understanding, that will be in a different way. The relationship will be in a different way. It doesn't mean that we should have affection towards everybody. No. No, it is not possible. We are all common human beings. You cannot be affectionate love towards your mother will have affectionate toward her children. There is an affection because out of relationship, out of some bond she is doing. But she can have love towards everybody. Based on that love, she may do something for the people, for the world. Love is a quality. Affection is a relationship. That is what I understand. Is it okay, Namara?
Yes, sir. Nice explanation, sir. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much to everybody. You are joined today. And this keeps going every Sunday. You can invite your friends or any new people.